Hey everyone, welcome to Blooms and Brushstrokes. Okay, it's been a minute again since, oh, here's Texas. It's been a minute since I've done a video, but I am very aware that this is how things are probably going to go for me this summer, just because I'm not I wasn't prepared for how busy I was going to be and how to juggle the YouTube channel at the same time. And so my apologies again for the delay in having a new video up, but without further ado, I am here today to do a quick little tutorial with you all on a picture of some Saskatoon berries. So here in Saskatchewan, where I live in Canada, we are harvesting Saskatoon berries right now. In fact, I just had Tex outside and him and I were hanging out, just picking them from the trees in our yard. They are also called service berries. They have different names and quite a few of them. So they could be called something different wherever you are at. But here in where I'm at, we call them Saskatoon berries. So I decided that would be a fun little picture to do. So I pre-sketched out the drawing because it saves us some time when it comes to actually doing the tutorial and how long the tutorial is. I've taken a photo of it. I'm going to share it with you guys and you can take a screenshot of it and follow along that way. I think that's how it will be, unless I'm doing a really complex painting, which I think when I do the dahlia, which I am definitely gearing up for that one. I know lots of people have asked about it because it is my logo, the dahlia in that. Lots of people have been asking if I'm going to do that. And so yes, we will. Probably sooner than later, and that will probably be maybe a drawing part and then a couple part series of painting, because it did take me a while to paint that one because it's lots of layering and all that stuff. But for now, I'm doing the drawings first. I'm taking a photo of it and then I will share that with you guys because I think that's a way more time efficient thing to do. If you have any questions about the drawing, just shoot me a comment or whatever, and I will try to help you out the best that I can. But for now, let's get painting, you guys. It's been a little while for me too. I haven't even had a chance to come home and paint. So I'm very excited to get into the paint tonight. And so is my little Texas. He's laying right here. I don't know if you guys can see him, but oh, he's pumped. So let's get painting, you guys. Okay, so I'm all set up here. I'm using the Stonehenge Aqua Coldpress 7x7 block, which is amazing. I love it for doing these little tutorials. I think it's great. You can get them on Amazon and at your local art stores for sure. We're gonna just get right at her here and have some fun. I'm also using my Yarka St Petersburg paints. These ones here. So that's what we're using. You can see my drawing. I've got, the leaves and some Saskatoon berries. I actually took a photo outside and it was all green, like leaves and then berries everywhere. But I just chose to kind of do this because it will be a little quicker. And then we'll just paint the background in a bunch of different green tones. Hey, no. So let's get cracking, you guys. All right, so I'm gonna start off with doing some color in the background, and it's just gonna be really organic. And I'm gonna stick with the green. So I'm just gonna drop down water. Whoop. Oh, here we go. Tex is already thinking, oh wow, we haven't painted in a while. This is fun. So I'm just dropping down water, and you can do this same thing. Just drop it down wherever. And we're gonna go in pretty light with the green. Oopsie, because obviously our leaves are gonna be green. So we want those to be, the main focal point, but we're just gonna do like a little background kind of wash is basically what we're doing. So we're doing wet on wet. I'm putting down some water, just kind of all over the place. And I'm gonna go in with the olive green, which I've got my swatch here, you guys. Here's my olive green. So that's what I'm gonna go in with. Oh, where is my water bottle? My spray bottle, here we go. I am still a little, I thought I was prepared, but I'm just spraying down my paints to get them activated. It's nice to do that a few minutes before you're actually gonna dip into the paint, but alas, here we are. So I want it to be very light, and we're just gonna start by going in and just dabbing down some color in no real kind of particular order. And we're gonna use a few different colors of green in this painting in the background. So I'm just kind of going in to do that light wash. So I don't want to go super heavy, lots of water, lots of paint. And we're just going to drop that down. I like that so far. I think that's a decent amount. I think that's going to be good for that olive green. And then I'm going to go in with the Russian green, because that's what I really love that one. It's one these two I use a lot because I think they're kind of just like more earthy, but this is the Russian green here, so I'm going to go in with that one next. Same kind of idea, and just kind of plop some color in there. Kind of sporadic. We got some pools of water going on, which is okay. We're just doing the background to get this painting kicked off here. And I'm just moving some of that around and really like kind of lightening that up, because I don't want it to be dark at all. I just want it to be just a little bit of background color, and that's pretty much it. So a little bit of extra olive green over here because it was just looking a little funky. And that's going to do it for the background. I'm going to leave it at that because you can really overdo it very quickly, and I don't want to do that. So we're going to let that dry. We're dry enough now. So I'm going to grab, oh, sorry, you guys. And by the way, I used the, what the heck is this one? The number 12 Royal Langnickel Zen brush to do the background. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go in and do the stems that are in there. So I'm grabbing my number 1 script because it's nice and fine to do that. And I'm going to use, where are we at? The branches aren't super brown. They're kind of a yellowy brown and a little bit of green in there in places. So let's start off with raw sienna, or the yellow, this one, yellow ochre. I can't really read my writing, but we're doing this one. It's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th one in the paint set. We're going to start with that, and we're just going to drop that down right where, like, you know, the branch is, okay? And I'm just going wet on dry. We can pick up some of that pigment so it's not so intense, and you can dilute it down a little bit more if you want to. We're going to add a little bit more color into these as well. And so I'm just doing the branch. It doesn't need to be perfect. And we're just going to put those in there. And then the little branches that are going to the leaves. We're going to throw those on there too. This is our very background. All right, so we've got that yellow down, and then I'm going to go in with a little bit of brown, and we're going to use the raw umber brown. This one here. I got it on this paint swatch. There's a little bit of green mixed in there, which I'm totally fine with that. So I've got a little bit of green and raw umber mixed together. It's a bit darker than I wanted, so I'm going to go in with a little bit of water. There we go. I just don't want these to be super predominant, but I also want them to be there because we're going to do a little bit of a looser style painting. I want these to be in there so that people can, that you can see them if we go a little wild with the color, but I also don't want them to be so dark that they look fake. So, I mean, it is a painting and all, but okay, so we've got that done. We're going to ditch that paintbrush. We're going to ditch that one, and then we're going to go in and do our leaves now, you guys. So at least our first pass through on the leaves. I think I'm going to go in with this number 8 Aqua Elite Princeton brush. This one's a lovely one. I love it, using it for many, many things. So again, we're going in with that olive green to start with. Or do we want that? Yeah, let's do olive green. So we're going to put down, these are going to be a little bit looser, and we're going to put down some water in, I better start back here. We're going to put down some water loosely. And we're going to just drop in a little bit of olive green to start. I'm starting with the background leaves here because we want to work from the back forward. That's typically what I like to do, but sometimes, you know, I break the rules of that. So I'm working on the ones that are in the background. So I'm going in, dropping down some loose water here. Going in with the olive as well. And just dropping it in there so it kind of just kind of just moves around a bit. Oh, we're going to have a party now. Tex wants to go back outside. You guys are going to hear him a lot. I've thought about putting him outside, and then the other day, the neighbor said to me that there's this feral stray cat. And so I was worried already about putting him outside because I'm like worried about somebody taking him. Because you just never know. People are weird. And then she told me that there's a feral cat that attacked one of her cats a couple weeks ago, and it actually ended up getting bit by this cat. So now I'm extra nervous to put him outside. So he'll be hanging inside. Okay, we're working on this one now. And again, we're just working on the same thing. Like, we just don't want these to be, we just want them to be loose. Kind of just have fun with it. If you like it a little bit more rigid, then just paint it a bit more rigid. But for me, woo, that was kind of crazy. Whoopsies over there. If you like more structure, and I mean, this isn't going to be one of the craziest paintings I've ever done or we've ever done together, but I like the idea of kind of just keeping it loose and just a very easy flow of paint. It feels good to be painting, you guys. It's so crazy. I wish the last couple of years I had a kid that helped me do yard work, and so I'm really missing him this year, but he graduated high school and he's not doing it anymore, so don't blame him. Okay, I got those ones done. Those 3, and I'm going to start working on, oopsie daisy, keep bumping that. This one up here. We're just dropping water down. And I think I'm going to do a mixture of a little bit of the olive green and some of the raw umber together. So just a bit more of an earthy kind of, I don't know what you would call this, but we're just going to go in with just a little bit of that and drop her down. And I'm going to go in and kind of move some of this. Paint around just a bit. I think I like that. Good enough. And I kind of like that it, oh, for goodness sakes, Krista. I kind of like that it's, you know, the edges of the leaves on a Saskatoon berry bush are jagged. So I like the idea of having the edges rough. Hi, buddy. Good boy. I'm going to go on this one with olive green. Oh, you're such a good boy, Texie. And we're just dropping it in there. So, you know, ever so lightly, plopping down some color. I like how that one turned out really nicely. Okay, I'm going to do this one here because it's not really attached to one that has a ton of wet paint to it. So I'm just kind of working like that with these. And then we'll go in and add some more green. I like the idea of doing, let's go with a little bit brighter green for that one. So we're going to mix the Russian green with the emerald green. And I would show you guys, but Tex is laying on it right now. And I don't want to bug him because he's quiet. And I might just for fun. Yep. Awesome. Ooh, I like that one. I gotta move this water. I keep bumping my phone, which is filming. Okay. So I'm adding a bit more of that kind of greeny, the emerald green and Russian green into some of the leaves because I like that kind of bright green, because honestly, if you see a Saskatoon berry bush out in the wild, like their leaves are very green. But I also don't love when things look, I don't know, like when they're, I don't know, I like the earthy colors, as you guys probably know. So I like having a hint of that green in there, but I don't like it to be the main focal point, like that, you know, kind of rich, really rich green. So I'm just dabbing it in there just to give a little bit more jam, but I don't want it to be a ton, like really at all, because I'm really already loving how the leaves are looking. But I like the idea of having dimension and color and all that stuff. So yep, I like those. Cute. Excellent. So I'm going to work on this one here. This one's kind of unique because it's flipped over, like it's folded over. So we're going to drop in, ooh, went crazy with the olive green, but that's okay. Excellent. Then mix some of that emerald olive green and Russian green, all that together just to do the other side, but I'm just gonna hold off till it dries a bit. And let's go in here with this one. Again, adding down the water very loosely. Ooh, I love how that one went. Beauty. Gonna add some of our greeny mixture. The emerald olive greeny. No, emerald Russian green, sorry. I'm liking these so far. Hopefully you guys do as well. I'm gonna work on this one over here. And we're just gonna drop down some of that water again. And it's totally cool if these bleed into each other. A-okay. Cool, so I'm gonna let those dry up. Before we go in and do those last little parts of these, I'm gonna just let them totally dry because I don't want them to just turn into a big old mushy mess. So we're gonna let those dry up, you guys, and then we'll head on and do the last bit of the leaves. And honestly, that's gonna be it. I'm not gonna go crazy and add a ton more because I know sometimes we can really overwork it. And then we're gonna get on and we're gonna do the berries, and I cannot wait. So let's let this dry up, you guys, and then get on to the berry part. We're fairly dry now, so I'm going to get in here and I'm going to finish off these last couple leaves. So we're going to do this one part that's flipping over. I'm going to use the olive green with some of the emeraldy. I'm just dropping that in. Whoopsie, I pushed it over there. Well enough. And then we're going to do this one here that's in the background. And we're going to go in with kind of the more darker green because it's tucked back in there. Adding a little bit more Russian green. Gonna plop a little bit of that on there. Woo. Just kind of tweaking that up a bit. Adding a titch bit more of dimension. Because why not? Get enough? I could overwork things and then make them look horrific. So actually, one last thing. I don't totally love this one, so I'm just gonna see if I can't love it up. A bit better. I think I can do it. Good enough? Okay, so now we're gonna go and do our berries, which I'm excited about. I'm gonna stick with this number 8 Aqua Elite first things first, we're going to go and drop down a light kind of reddy purple base. So we don't want it to be super intense of either color. So I'm going to use violet, and I'm going to use mixed with some scarlet red, violet and scarlet red together, and that's going to be my base color. We're going to go very lightly with that because we're just going to do a couple passes on these things, and we're going to make them just loose and fun. And we're all of them are going to get that base color, and then we'll just work with dimension by doing our second pass over. So we're going to go in, drop down some, this still has, because I was mixing, drop down some water. It doesn't need to be perfect. Again, we're just doing loose and fun. And first pass over, great. If you want to pick up some of that color, pick it up, because we're going to do the dimension after. And so we're just going to get in there right now and go and do all of those just that same way. You know, adding in that color, some water. If it's too much, pick it up. Leave some white. Leave some white open in your berries to add that look of the light touching it. You know, you can do wet on dry, wet on wet, whatever works for you. We're just putting our first pass over. So these are just loose and just adding in that first base of color. So get in there, do up your berries, you guys. And then we will go into more detail once we get them dried up. And the other thing I should mention too is, like, you don't have to use the same exact color for the berries. You know, you can do just, you don't just want the first pass over to be pretty light because we're going to build on it. And so that's really what I'm doing. Maybe I'll add a little bit of hint more purple in there, because a Saskatoon berry, as you know, if you guys know what they are, they start off really red. And then they go to this deep, beautiful, dark violet purple, and they are incredibly beautiful. And they are everywhere right now, but they are actually starting to dry up here. I have a few bushes in my yard, and then just down my street, they just grow wild everywhere here, which we're so fortunate for. And honestly, I think, thank Mother Earth and the Creator and everything for blessing us with these berries that we can go out and pick and enjoy. So I was excited to do this painting because my sister and I just read a book called The Service Berry as well, and it was a beautiful book. So, oh, I should tell you guys, I don't know if I've mentioned, but my sister and I have a podcast. It's called Sister Social Call, and you can find it on Spotify, Apple, and this Libsyn account. Our Libsyn, that's where we upload it to. So if you guys want to check it out, we do a podcast every Monday, and it's a ton of fun. And it's called Sisters Social Call. We talk about anything and everything that pertains to us in our life and what women in their 40s and beyond could be experiencing. So check it out if you like. We are podcast listeners, so we enjoy a good podcast. Okay, guys, I'm going in for my second pass through now. So I'm going to go violet, heavy on the violet. And I'm actually going to go in with the, what the heck is that called? Something red. I should memorize these by now. Can't even read it's like red lake something. Can't even hardly read my writing. How terrible is that? But I'm mixing the violet and that together. So straight violet and then that together. And we're going to go in a little bit heavier with color this time. And I'm not going to add any more water. I'm just going to work with what's there. Oh, they're drying up pretty quick. Okay. I want that to be a little bit more wet, but that's okay. And this is our second pass through with our berry. And then I'm going to go in with some of that deep violet just to do around the edge. And around, a Saskatoon berry has a little, I don't know what you would call it, like kind of a little nub on the end of it. So I'm going in and I'm kind of highlighting that with a little bit more detail as well. And these can be all different tones of purple. I might even mix like a little bit of blue into it a little bit. And I'm only going to do this one pass over. Maybe add a teeny little bit of detail in there after, but, or this second pass over. I'm not going to go crazy and add and keep tweaking and doing and what, oh shoot. Because I think it'll just get too carried away. So go in there and have fun doing up the rest of your berries. Keep in mind that, you know, the ones that are behind would have more shadow on them, so more darker, intense color. But I mean, you know, we're not really we're just having fun. So that's the main thing. I just try to think of that, you know, hey, if it's in the background, just remember maybe a little bit more deeper color. If it's in the foreground, might be a little bit more reddy, kind of more light passing through as opposed to so much purple. That's fine. So I'm going to do like this guy here. It's sitting in the front. So let's keep it a little bit brighter. I think this is looking pretty fun. And then this little one sitting behind. Okay, let's go maybe a bit deeper on that violet, but a little bit more of that red in there. Ooh, that's pretty deep. That's okay. And I love that it's going to run into the other berries. Like, I'm excited about that. I want them to kind of be very loose. Ooh, I like that. I think that's looking good. Cool. Okay, so before I move along, I'm going to add just a little bit more kind of depth by just dropping in, while these are still wet, and just dropping in a little bit of that line around it, but you don't want it to be perfect. You just want it to kind of be there. Just to give the berry, that's a bit too wet still. Just to give the berry that little bit of extra shaping. So I'm going in with quite a bit of color. And just adding in that detail, so. It's just a little bit of fun. And it can be, you know, it doesn't need to be just like that. I love how that little bunch looks. Oh, I got crooked. Oh boy, I'm sorry you guys. I just get so in the mode I don't even know what's happening. So I'm going to carry on and do the rest of these berries just the same as I did those ones. So these might have dried up a bit too much now. So I'm going to just put down a little bit of water where I'm working, because I do want it to be a little bit, I want there to be a little bit of water to work with. So we're going to start with this back one, and this back one is going to be quite deep because it's in the background. And then the one up front of it is going to be a little bit more on the redder side of things. So, oofda. I love it. That's cool. I'm gonna let that dry up a little bit before I go in and kind of finish it off. So then I'm gonna work on the background one over here. I might have to again put down a little bit of water Yeah, they're dry. Just a titch so you can, you know, just have a little bit of movement in there. So and then same thing as before. Work dark from the back. And then kind of, I guess I'll do all the dark back ones first. And just add whatever tones of purple, blue, red into there just to, because they aren't all going to be exactly the same. This is quite fun. Oh, I've been missing the painting, you guys. Honestly, it's crazy. You just, well, you get so busy, and I love gardening so much. And then I get painting and I'm like, oof, I need to be doing more of this in my life. But thank you guys for your patience with me and understanding that, you know, there's a lot going on. And, ooh, that did a little number there. Yeah, and just being understanding, like life happens, and I appreciate that so much. And thank you for all your condolences about my great auntie. That was a tough one for me for sure. So I appreciate all your kind words and condolences and kindness for sure. That was, it's so awesome, you know, when we do these YouTube channels, and it becomes so much more than just like an actual, you know, YouTube channel. You know, you become close with people, and it's quite beautiful actually, you know, that you create these relationships and people, you know, you start to know people, and yeah, I think it's pretty fabulous. So thank you guys so much for that. And thank you guys again for enjoying my channel with me and having fun and supporting me, because it's quite new. I mean, I've been doing it for a while now, but I'm still learning so much as I go. And so I appreciate your patience and understanding and all that stuff when it comes to content and all that. So it is awesome. I do totally love it. And if you guys do enjoy what you're watching, please, oh, I'm going to lose my microphone, I think, if I haven't already. Please let me know. And give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to my channel. Oh, interesting. There's a phone ringing. Okay, guys, I'm going to finish up these berries. I have to charge up my microphone because it's going to die, I think, on me. So I'm going to finish up the berries by doing just the exact same thing that I did with the rest of them. The ones that I've already done already. And then hopefully I'll have enough charge when I'm done, and then we can finish up the tutorial together. So we're all done our painting and everything's dry. And so my next thing I'm going to do is go in with the Micron 01 pen, and I'm going to do my line work, which I love the painting as it is, but I also love the line work, and that's kind of my jam. So I'm going to go in and do that, you guys. And then, oh, Tex thinks we're going outside. And we're just going to be quite loose with this, and yeah, we'll just kind of go with the flow. So as I said before, the edges of the leaves are jagged. but I just want it to be quite subtle. Like I don't want to have a bunch of harsh lines in here. Like I think the painting is pretty soft. So we're just going to go in and lightly add in that detail with our Micron pen. And you can kind of be in and out of the paint and just roll with how it feels. That's something I always stress. Just feel the painting, feel the drawing. And yeah, and just go for it. And so we're just going to do the outlining of everything right now. So it's been quite a fun little painting to do with you guys. Oh gosh, I have to flip this around. I'm having a hard time to do it backwards. I love, like right now, I should also say I've been taking a ton of photos of flowers and stuff that are blooming in my yard. That is my inspiration for painting all these watercolor flowers. And people have asked me, do I think I'm going to paint anything different? And to be totally honest, I really don't. So beautiful and fabulous that I just can't imagine. Somebody said, oh, why not portrait? I'm like, oh, I can't think of anything worse to do, to be honest. And it's not that I don't think portraits are unbelievably beautiful. It's just I have zero interest in that. I love the idea of photographing human beings, but painting them, not a chance. Not one is that I'm not really skilled in that. I'd have to take a lot of classes, which is fine. Learning is always good. But I honestly think it's like better to be really good at one thing than mediocre at many. And so I'm sticking with the florals. And the thing about it is that if you get bored of painting a certain way, then you can go and paint in a different style. Like there's so many different ways you can go about it. So I love painting flowers because they're absolutely beautiful. They bring me so much joy. And in life, I've come to the conclusion that if it doesn't bring you joy, don't do it. And that's where I'm at. Like flowers bring me a huge amount of joy. Like, and I'm talking like humongous. When I get flowers, when I see flowers, like every day I go out into my garden and I check and see what is blooming because I love them so, so very much. So I'm going to do flowers. Just keep them coming. And yeah, so I've been out in my garden. The flowers aren't quite blooming like crazy yet, but they're coming. And so once they start really going crazy, I'll be taking tons more pictures. But I'm taking lots right now as it is of all the blooms that are coming because that's what I do my paintings based off of. So I did take a photo of the Saskatoons and I'm using that. I'll drop that photo. I'll drop one of the photos in there. That's an inspiration photo. Okay. Now I'm going to go and I'm going to outline the berries. And the stems I already outlined. And they can just be lightly outlined. Like this is a soft painting, so we don't want it to be anything too rigid. And too drastic with the outlining. Less is more sometimes. I sometimes forget that myself. And I get carried away. And it's like I can ruin a painting in a second because I just get so into it. I'll do these last ones up over here. Excellent, you guys. So that is going to do it for that painting. And I think it turned out really pretty. I really actually totally love this one. So I'm just going to put my little K and the year up in there. And that's going to do it for me, you guys. Anyway, all right, friends. So that is going to wrap up this tutorial of the Saskatoon berries. I love it so very much. I had such a joyful time and a pleasure doing this painting. It is really awesome. So I don't know what I'm going to do next. What's in bloom right now? I have some poppies that are in bloom. I have daylilies. I've got foxglove, some delphinium blooming right now. Peonies. I have peonies. Oh, I have a good photo of peonies, so I've got that. Oh, and then check out these wildflowers I picked out at the farm. This is the Indian paintbrush, Gaillardia, Shasta daisies, oh, yarrow, all wildflowers. Flowers are exceptional right now. So anyways, you guys, that is going to wrap it up for me for this tutorial. If you enjoyed what you watched, please give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. And that way you won't miss what I'm up to, even though I know I've been slacking in the painting department. But I am making it a priority to get one of these done a month. And if I can have a rain day, a rain day when I'm here at my house, I will maximize and paint that after I'm done cleaning my house. Because in the summertime, my house gets totally neglected because I'm full on trying to get the outside done. So if I get a rain day, I will definitely focus on painting. But thank you guys so much for watching. And thank you so much for your love and support and all your kind words when my great auntie passed away. Truly, truly appreciate everything you guys have said. So thank you so much for joining me, and we'll check you guys at the next tutorial.